As it is every single time I come to the Peak District, it's always brilliant sunshine when I leave, and when I get here it's cloudy and miserable. Today is no different. What is it with these vlogs? It's like as if they're doomed. Just have a look at this. I kid you not, as soon as I got to Glossop, it was stunning. In fact, the sun's just bursting through now. We could have quite a bit of a mixed day today with the weather conditions. So I'm going to try and get a few shots around Lady Bower today. Don't know what I'm going to really do. I'm going to work it out when I get there. It's sort of fly by the seat of my pants as soon as I get there today. Might head up to Bamford Edge, which is where I did a couple of vlogs ago, where it all became cloudy again and miserable. So I'm going to try and get up there later for a sunset if that works out. But yeah, I'm going to stay around Lady Bower Reservoir, around Derwent Valley reservoirs, and sort of see what I can get around there. And yeah, test out this lens. I've had a bit of a play with it since I've done my last vlog, and the results, I'm so pleased with this lens. It's something I really want to work with a lot more. So I'm going to test it today, sort of see what I can get, and yeah, show you guys. Come along. Well, a lot of YouTubers and photographers have started taking up camping and camper vans and stuff. I thought I might go one step further and have a look at this bad boy. Well, it would appear that the lights are forever changing here. I've just stopped at the side of the road to take a couple of shots just of the valley. Just as the sun's sort of in between clouds, it's a little bit misty in the distance as well. That's quite good, so I thought I'd take a couple of shots there. Just going to head further down now, the Snake Pass, which is an absolute joy of a road to drive down. The way the road sort of goes down, snakes down on Snake Pass. I'm going to head down towards Lady Bower now. Today could be a complete mixed bag, really. It all depends on what this weather brings up. It was forecast for brilliant sunshine all day, no clouds in the sky, and yet we're full of clouds all the way through, but there's nice breaks in it which could really add for some interest. Now it all depends when I get down there what I actually want to do. You never can tell with this area. It's very beautiful, very picturesque, and certainly this time of year in autumn you're guaranteed to get something. It's whether I want to head up towards Bamford Edge or whether I want to stay actually by the reservoirs and do some sort of coloured shots certainly with the leaves, or where the sun seems to be sort of speckling through sort of mottled light as well. Yeah, we'll head down there now and sort of work out what I'm going to do, but yeah, glad I've made the venture out. So I've opted to drive up towards Bamford Edge. Now this is the place where I came a couple of vlogs ago, and I walked all the way down from Lady Bower all the way up the main road. So with the camera gear on the back, I thought, no, I'll drive up. So I've quite literally dumped the car in a ditch. So I'm just going to walk up now. Come and join me. We'll see what we can get from the top here. It looks very, very busy. When I was down by Lady Bower, it was the car parks are all absolutely chocker. I think everyone's sort of getting out before the lockdown happens on Thursday. I'm shooting this on the Wednesday. So yeah, just really getting out there while I can. So I think everybody else has got the same idea. So we'll get ready, get my hiking boots on, and head up, and yeah, I'll join you when I get there. So it's really nice to be out in this weather. The last few days have been absolutely torrential rain. The garden's flooded at home. So to get a day like this is very welcome indeed. So I'm going to really make the most of it. Now unfortunately the day's been a little bit tied up with other bits and pieces, sort of normal tasks I've got to do. The road into here was absolutely rammed with roadworks. I don't know what's going on, but there's been something on the M56, been something on the M62, so yeah, it delayed me for about another 30 minutes. It's a little bit frustrating when you want to get somewhere and just sort of get out, get some fresh air and get some photography done. So anyway, made it, enough grumbling now. I'm here, let's see what we can get. Oh, it's just so beautiful though being out. And even though even though there's a lot of people here, it's still very peaceful. Yeah, you need this in your life. Well, I hope you're all doing okay. By the time this comes out, the second lockdown 2.0 will be in force. Hope you're all adapting well. Yeah, I'm not sure what will happen with the channel, how the restrictions will affect us on this, but yeah, there'll be plenty more ideas coming through, even if I've got to stay at home. But for now, let's enjoy this. As I'm walking across here, I'm just listening to a bit of music, and it really does sort of separate you from things that are going on in the background, and it just, I don't know, puts me in a better focus for doing photography. It really puts me in a better mindset for doing photography, and I recommend it for anybody who's sort of out and about, a little bit rushed on their day, not really feeling inspired. Get the music on, just put it through your phone or whatever, however you listen to your music, and just put your earpods in, and yeah, just listen to it, and it really does help, really gets you in that mood to get out there and take some images. I guess what I'm saying is it gets you a little bit more creative, or it does for me, and it certainly works for me. So yeah, the music is playing, that's why I've got the headphones in. Nothing to do with sound for the microphone or anything like that, nothing too technical. It's just blasting, well, it's Trust Company at the minute, bit of heavy rock for you. Right, let's go. Well, I'm actually on the top ridge now. It's just a walk across to my right, towards where the ridge, the actual rock that leans over the cliff is, and you can look over to Lady Bower and the Derwent Valley. So that's where I'm going to head over towards now. And just looking across, there's a load of people just doing all their selfies on top of the rock. There's probably about 15 to 20 people across there now. So I'm going to try and avoid that as much as I can for a while. Once the sun starts to set and it starts getting a bit colder up here, I'm sure a lot of those people will just disperse anyway. So yeah, here we are. A little bit different to last time I was here. The mist and the rain started coming in, and it was just absolutely grey and miserable. Thoroughly enjoyable, but yeah, very difficult conditions to not only photographing but also filming as well. The gear was absolutely sodden by the time I got home. So yeah, so yeah, we're just going to focus around this area. I'm going to walk around past the ridge. When I was here last time, I noticed a few people walking down further around, so I'm just going to see what's around there, see if there's anything to be had. So yeah, a bit of an explore, but with this light it should be quite good. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain in the distance as well, and it's just making this quite soft light. The clouds are coming right across the sun, and then obviously with the rain coming down as well. Who knows, we could be in for some rainbows, and that would be awesome. Just over the reservoir. God, if you're listening, just a nice rainbow over the reservoir. Now, last time I came here, I was cycling around. I didn't bring the camera, I didn't bring the vlogging camera, didn't even bring my photography camera. It was just cycling with my partner, and we rode around the whole of the 3 reservoirs. And it was absolutely fantastic, a glorious day, and it'd been raining, there was a bit of drizzle, but the light that was hitting the trees was absolutely phenomenal, and I was gutted I didn't have the camera with me. And we sat and had some lunch, and as we sat there having lunch, I said, all I need now is like a Lancaster bomber to come flying across, all historic and things like that. 20 minutes later, it came across. I couldn't believe it. We'd cycled to the top and we were heading down, and I could just hear the propellers in the distance, and I was like, no, there's no way this is a bomber coming across. And sure enough, it was. And I'm kind of glad I didn't have my camera there, because I actually had to stop the bike and just witness it and actually look at it with my own eyes and actually take it in. And it was quite an emotional thing, really. This bomber that's been in service, it's obviously on a training routine, whatever they're doing with it, just flew straight over each of the reservoirs. Phenomenal to view. Shame I didn't have the camera, because it would be great to have kept it, but I'm not too disappointed because I actually got to witness it instead of looking it through a viewfinder. Those things, eh? Right, we'll crack on. So the remarkable thing about here is you've got all these rocks that are just basically hanging off the side of the cliff. Quite scary to stand on, actually, when you kind of think, how much longer have these actually got? And then you look further down into the valley, and there's all these rocks that have obviously tumbled down in the past. But yeah, I'm trying to be as safe as I can here. So I've just taken a couple of images just across there now, which I'll show those now. But yeah, it's such a beautiful place to be, and certainly when you've got great light. Unfortunately, I've never actually experienced great light, certainly as good as we've got it today. So I'm going to take this opportunity as much as I can to yeah, take as many images as I can, and obviously do the review of the 17 to no, not 17 to 24. What have I bought? I can never get this right. It's a 14 to 24mm, the Nikon lens, and yeah, give you a bit of a breakdown of what it's like, what I've found over the past couple of days on using this lens, and yeah, whether I'd actually recommend it. Yeah, I'll let you know at the end. Still a few people milling around. There's a few rock climbers as well that are coming up as we speak. I was just sort of sat there quite peacefully, just looking, just to see what I can get as a composition. Next thing, a lady popped her head up above the rock, and I almost jumped out my skin. I think she does as well. So yeah, I'm going to focus on this area for a little bit. As you can probably tell, just in the distance there, we've got the hills all lit up as well. It's just stunning. I love days like this where you never really know what you're going to get. You've got black clouds just there and around here, and then beautiful light further in the distance. Whether we're going to get sunset, I don't know. We'll come to that. The amount of times I've been out on these vlogs, and it's either been absolutely fantastic or zilch. But I'm not too bothered. I think in the winter, or certainly as now the clocks have gone back, we lose an hour. It doesn't give us enough time to sort of get out there and do massive long vlogs and loads of photography, but what it does do, it makes it a lot easier to be able to shoot throughout the whole of the day. Really, you can actually utilize, although we're still waiting for golden hour, you can still shoot sort of midday onwards, really, because the sun's that much lower. It gives those nice shadows, less of a harsh light, and certainly when we've got weather conditions like we have today, where anything could happen, yeah, you just make the most of it and really go for it. So the reason why I've come out today is not only just to test the 12 to 24 At this point, I'm really starting to annoy myself. It's a 14-24 simples. But it's also because I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to go out again. Today's Wednesday, the lockdown is booked for tomorrow, which is lockdown 2.0. So yeah, it's all a case of just getting what I can today and just making the most of it. Work's going to be horrendous. I work for a haulage company and we deliver into all the major supermarkets. We also deliver for the major supermarkets as well, and the volumes are absolutely horrendous. It's all down to panic buying, and why, I don't know. Why we're doing it again, who knows, but yeah, the panic buying has started well and truly. But yeah, there's enough stock, there's enough drivers, there's enough vehicles. We've recruited a load more drivers and vehicles to go with that as well. So really, don't panic buy. There's no point of it. We're getting through it. The volume is getting into the stores, the volumes are getting into distribution centres, the stocks are huge and they're prepared for this. So yeah, it's the second time around. Right, I'm going to continue now, but when you've got views like that in the background, you just take what you can get, really, and that's what today's going to be. It's all about doing those images, doing this video and enjoying it while I can. So I'm just carrying on taking a few images of here now, just whilst I've got the light in the distance there, just filtering through. The way it's sort of sitting on the fields, lights igniting the trees and the light streets coming through the hills, and you've got really contrasted sort of image there, really. So what I've done, I've actually bracketed the shot. Now I've bracketed it to 5 stops. Normally do 3, but I think with the harshness of the light in the sky, the light on the ground, and then you've got the dark shadows, I think it needs the 5 stop bracket. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm going to continue working this area now. I'm probably going to head down towards where the edge is. There's still quite a few people sort of milling around. Just as a load go, then another load come in. But yeah, it's all about waiting patiently, isn't it, really? And yeah, trying to get your spot. So I'll head down there in a bit. And like I said, I want to head further around and see what else I can get. Probably quite a good image of the lake in my mind. That's what I've got from around the let's say lake reservoir, from around the other side of the edge. But yeah, that light is just absolutely beautiful, and oh, yeah, you just don't get better than that. I mean, just one last time. Yeah, that's what you call photography. So what a place to do a review from. Just on the edge, we've got Lady Bower in the distance, we've got Derwent Valley water in the going off to your left, no, your right, my left, right. So yeah, my review on the 12 to 24mm. How's it getting along? Well, the last vlog I did, I said that I'd be off here tomorrow, which I didn't manage to get here. The weather was just horrendous, so it didn't bother. So I stayed local and I've taken a few images, and I've really got to know the lens over the past couple of days. Just mainly we're going handheld. And I think that's one of the benefits of this lens, is going handheld. You've got so much in the foreground interest that you can evolve into the shot, certainly when you're shooting a 14mm. And what it does, it actually stretches it as well. So it gives you a much more exaggerated foreground. Now, the problem with the tripod, certainly the Manfrotto that I'm using at the moment, it only goes so far low. So when you actually really handheld and so low to the ground, it gives you such more of an exaggerated foreground interest, which I'm really enjoying actually. It's something that I didn't actually think this camera would do that much. Bear with us, I was just about to do 3 pros and cons of this, but the lights just burst through, so 2 minutes. Apologies about that, the sun just started to burst through the clouds just as I started talking. So, 3 pros and cons with this lens. So I'll start with the pros of it. It's an f2.8, so it's extremely fast. If you want to get in low light conditions, you want to shoot something fairly fast, this is quite a good lens for it. It's super sharp. You zoom on something, not only is it super sharp, but it actually focuses really quickly as well. Even in low light, I'm finding much better than my 24-70 and my 7200. So yeah, so we've got low light conditions, we've got super fast at focusing, and we've also got the 14mm. Do I need to say anything more? The beauty with the 14mm is it's pushing me as a photographer a lot more. So normally when you get used to a lens, I'm focusing on a 24-70, which is my normal go-to lens, and with that I knew what I could get in the shot. Now with this, it just opens up a heck of a lot more, to the point where I'm actually thinking, do I need that much in the shot? So I'm getting a little bit greedy. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic for actually getting more into the image than you actually thought you could. Foreground interest is something that I'm really intrigued with as well. So this has really managed to make me stop and think more about foreground. Now when I'm shooting this and doing it handheld, which is what I'm doing quite a lot of recently, it really just adds to that, so you can get really low onto the ground, really get that foreground interest really exaggerated into the image, and then onto the main subject that you're actually shooting. Or sometimes it can just be the foreground interest that's the important thing. So yeah, find it absolutely fantastic for that. The negatives, with everything there's always a negative to these sort of things. Now it is expensive. I bought this one used for the best part of £900. Now it is in absolutely fantastic condition. There's absolutely no blemishes, no marks in it whatsoever. So I bought it used, £900. It's heavy, it is extremely heavy, but I don't really mind that. Certainly on the D810, which isn't a light camera anyway. I've got the metal tripod frame around it as well, so it all adds to the weight. So I'm not too bothered about the weight, but if you're looking at going lightweight, this isn't the lens. And then also the other negative is the bulbous front on it as well. Now the problem with that is not only can you damage it quite easily because it's almost protruding over the front of the cap, but also it lets a lot of lens flare in. Now a lot of photographers do quite like a lot of lens flare. I'm not particularly put off of it. It's kind of, if it works for the image, it works. If it doesn't, I'll try and Photoshop it out. But I'm noticing there's a lot of lens flare that actually gets generated into it. I took some images the other night of Fiddler's Ferry. Why can I never say that? Fiddler's Ferry power station, and the sun was similar to what it was now, and there's a good sunburst. But what I had to do is Photoshop a lot of the flare out that was in the bottom right hand side of the image. It's not an issue if you go to Photoshop, but if you just have to take in a couple of images with this and you're not too parfait with Photoshop, it could prove difficult. It could actually sort of hamper your images really. But no, it's all in all, fairly impressed with it. It is only the first week I've had it, so I've still got a lot more to do, a lot more shooting to do with it as well. But so far, yeah, fantastic. So this is the lens I'm just keeping on the camera. I've also got the 24-70 in the bag as well, if need be, if I want to do any long exposure. Now the problem, in fact the lights happened again. Back in a minute. So apologies again for that. This blasted light is getting in the way of doing my vlog. So I'm just taking a few images now, just of the lake, of the reservoir. I keep calling it a lake, it's actually a reservoir, with the bridge, the main road bridge that goes across the reservoir in the distance, just being lit up by the sun now. So another issue I've got with this lens, well, it's not really an issue, is the filter system. It won't use the original filter system I've got for the 24-70 and the 7200. It needs a different attachment. Now it's £150 just for the attachment and the ring adapters and things like that. So I'm not bothering for the time being. What I'm going to do is difficult lighting conditions like we've got now, I'm just bracketing and just using the camera more to sort of get the images the way I want, instead of relying on filters. I've never been a big fan of filters. I always find that they get too dirty, and because a lot of them are plastic as well, they scratch very easily, and once they're scratched, they're ruined. So yeah, it's a good opportunity now to actually look and see what the camera can do with bracketing, and obviously then processing it through Lightroom. So yeah, that's a little bit of different mind thinking as we go along. So obviously I'm taking either 3 or 5 times as many images as I normally would if I wasn't bracketing, but yeah, it's always important to make sure you get them right whilst you're on location. Right, I'm going to continue now, taking a few more images. The light is just absolutely beautiful over in the distance now, and if these images have turned out okay, I'll show you them now, but yeah, all good. So I'm starting to lose the best of the light now. It's starting to go into blue hour. The sun is just setting just behind the mountains in the distance. I think I've done all I can up to this point. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, sort of see what blue hour gives me. There's certainly no rush to head back tonight. I'm just going to relax here for a little bit and yeah, just sort of soak it in really. I think that's what we need to do sometimes as photographers, is not only take images of the location, but actually soak it in, just actually bring it in through our own eyes before we go back and process the images. That's the way that I normally do it. Just try and take a mental image of actually what it was like here and try and replicate that through Lightroom and Photoshop. So I hope you like this vlog. It was a little bit of a review of the 12 to 24, the 12 to 24, 14 to 24. I will get this right. This is my mission throughout lockdown, to make sure that I get the name of that lens right, to understand this at 14 to 24. Why can I say it without even thinking about it? 14 to 24. Right, so hope you've managed to get away. Hope you've managed to get something from this review of the 14 to 24. Yeah, massively recommended lens. It's sharp, it's quick, it's good in low light, and it's great for foreground interest, and it really just sort of opens your photography up a lot more. I'm going to continue taking some images now, just of this area here, sort of stick here, wait around for blue hour. I'll show those at the end of the vlog. Hope you've enjoyed it. If so, give me the thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Leave a message of where you're from, or even if it's just say hi, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Obviously with the way that work's going to be when I get back, this next week is going to be horrendous, but I'll try and reply back as quickly as I can. So yeah, best luck to you all. Hope you all keep safe. Hope you all manage to get up to things through lockdown that keep your mind occupied really. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side. All the best now. Take care. Bye bye.